Hey guys, what is going on? This is Detective Shroud Gaming here, and today we're here to do our Overwatch guide for Genji. So there's some quick information on the screen before we get to gameplay. But besides that, we're going to hop right into gameplay while I talk a little bit about Genji. Genji's name is Genji Shimada, and he's about 35. He's a Japanese adventurer. And he is a former Shimada clan member and is a former part of Overwatch. He's Hanzo's older brother, or younger brother, I'm not sure, I can't really remember. He has an offensive role and has about 200 health. His abilities are Cyber Agility, Shoryuken, Deflect, Swift Strike, Dragon Blade. So let's get into his abilities really quick. Cyber Agility, which is his passive, allows him to climb on walls and perform jumps in midair, which you could see me do just then. I just did that in the clip to get from place to place. His Fan of Blades, which is what I'm using right now, is a 3-star attack that can be in a 3-line, like a straight line, and they shoot 3 at a time, or they can be in a fan. His Deflect, which basically means it deflects anything that's coming towards him, which includes bullets or really anything of that nature, rockets or anything like that. His Swift Strike allows him to dart forward with his katana and go through his foes, and if he eliminates somebody, he can use it again. And finally, his ultimate is Dragon Blade, which allows him to brandish his katana for a little bit of time. Until he sheathes a sword, he can deliver high damage attacks to his targets in a short cone in front of him, so it kind of makes a cone. Just to go over his abilities really quick, his ammo is 24 for the Shoryuken and the Fan of Blades, both are the same. And they do about 28 damage per shot, which is 84 damage max. His reload takes 1 second, or its cooldown, while his Swift Strike and Deflect take 8 seconds to come back. But the Deflect lasts about 2 seconds, while the Swift Strike is instant. Swift Strike does about 50 damage per hit, while Dragon Blade does about 120 per swing. The Shoryuken hits about 3.33 RPS, and the Fan of Blades hits about 4.44 RPS, so that went up quite a bit. Genji is a flanker. He has the highest mobility in the game, and he pretty much can reach anywhere on the map, no matter how high or far away. He attacks at both range and up close with his Shoryukens. He can execute fast burst damage with Swift Strike and even reflect the attacks of his enemies back in front of him. Just like Soldier 76, his versatility comes with its downsides. He is neither as agile as Tracer in combat, nor does he deal damage as quickly as Reaper. So you'll find him being the mediator, sort of, between those two characters. He can move a lot faster than most of those characters, but unfortunately, he does not deal as much damage or, get around as fast as Tracer. Basically, his passive. So let's go over this in a deeper context. It allows him to climb walls and double jump, which can be used pretty much to get an advantage on your foes. Almost any vertical surface can be climbed, and he can jump again at any time while climbing, allowing him to reach catwalks and other areas that don't have a direct vertical path to them. You can change the direction that Genji is jumping when using the double jump. Just hold the direction you want him to jump and then jump. The Shoryukens can headshot as well, and the secondary fire, which is not the burst, can fire a lot quicker than the burst. So you'll see me using the burst and sucking very bad. I'm not the best Genji player. I am pretty bad as Genji. I tried my best this round. This round ended up being extremely close, and yeah, it's altogether a good round though. His general strategies is he is deadly offensive. He can sneak behind enemy lines, harass his opponents with constant volleys of Shoryukens. You should always be taking side routes in order to flank the enemy team. If you're heading straight on with your Shoryukens, you're probably not going to last very long. Let's see here. He contributes much less when he's merely hanging back with his team. You need to be ahead of your team. You don't need to be in the back throwing ninja stars behind Roadhog or something like that. Do not get too far away from your team, though. He cannot escape from bad engagements. There's plenty of situations I get myself in. Earlier, I used my super on a diva, and I actually charged her and got myself behind her, which ended up being my downfall. So yeah, Genji is better at fighting at medium distances rather than close. He can't really dodge like Tracer, and can't heal himself or do damage like Reaper. He can be killed easily if he gets too close to the enemy team. Only engage up close either if Dragon Blade is up, or if the enemy you're fighting is vulnerable, such like if you find a Widowmaker on her own. Deflect is extremely good out of Tracer's Pulse Bomb, McCree's Deadeye, or his high noon ability, and Pharah's Barrage can all be deflected by Reflect. Just make sure that you know where you're aiming the Reflect, because there's been plenty of instances where I freak out and I hit the Reflect, and I end up reflecting the bullets, but they don't hit anything. Use at the right moment, basically to send everything flying back at them. A good burst damage combo, I would recommend the secondary fire, so that you can hit them up close, all by like a quick melee, which is cancelled with Swift Strikes, which provides a heavy burst of damage that will kill many injured players, like almost instantly. The wall climb has so many uses, even in combat. While fighting near a doorway, you can get your enemy to chase you towards the doorway, then use Cyber Agility to climb up over it and ambush them when they come through. Dragon Blade. It's a great ability, does lots of damage, but you have to use it wisely. Genji is not any more durable than normal while using it, so that basically he is glass cannon wherever he uses this ability. Use it when there are many enemies with low health, such like Symmetra and Mercy. They're both in the same room. That'd be good kills for Dragon Blade. You can chain your Swift Strikes to eliminate both targets and remain evasive to survive longer. Just make sure that you're in melee range whenever you activate this ability. So now, we've got everything done with his abilities, and now we're pretty much going to move on to his story. He was the youngest son of the master of the Shimida ninja clan. Genji lived a life of luxury and privilege. He had little interest in the family's illegal businesses, although he excelled at and enjoyed his ninja training. Spent most of the time pursuing a playboy lifestyle. Many within the clan considered the carefree Genji to be a dangerous liability, and they resented the father for coddling and protecting him. Following the clan leader's untimely death, Genji's older brother, which is Hanzo, demanded that Genji took a more active role in the father's empire. Genji refused, enraging Hanzo. The tension between the brothers built to a violent confrontation that left Genji on the verge of death. Hanzo believed that he killed his brother, but Genji was rescued by Overwatch, and in the intervention of Dr. Angela Ziegler, the global security force saw Genji as a potential asset in its ongoing operations to combat the Shimida clan. As Genji's injuries left him clinging to life, Overwatch offered to rebuild his body in exchange for his help. He was put through an extensive process of cyberization, which enhanced his natural speed and agility and augmented his superlative ninja skills. Transformed into a living weapon, he single-mindedly set out the task of dismantling his family's criminal empire. At some point, he was stationed at Watch Point Gibraltar. I think that's how you say it. He felt at war with himself. He was repulsed by the mechanical parts of his body and could not come to grips with what he had become. When his mission was complete, he abandoned Overwatch and wandered the world in search of meaning. He drifted for many years, crossing paths with the Omnic monk Zenyatta. Although Genji initially rejected Zenyatta's wisdom, the benevolent Omnic would not be deterred. In time, Zenyatta became his mentor, and under the monk's tutelage, Genji reconciled his dual existence as both man and machine. He learned to accept that although he had a cyborg body, his human soul was intact, and he came to see his new form as a gift of unique strength. Basically, Genji can do whatever he wants. Yeah, there's a couple different skins for him. The commons are Azurite, Cinnabar, Malachite, Ochre, which is blue, red, green, yellow. He has two epics, which is Carbon Fiber, which is complete black, and Chrome, which is all white. And Sparrow, Young Genji, Bedoin, and Nomad are his two legendaries. And Sparrow and Young Genji are both him whenever he was young and carefree, and the Nomad skins are pretty much just a different alternate version of him. Hanzo and Genji were actually the same character at one point. They were split into early development, or they were split into two early in development. So it'd be pretty much kind of imagine Genji with the body of Genji, but with like a bow. And kind of the lower part, he still kind of had Hanzo's clothing, but he was a robot as well. Genji's blade consists of his dragon blade on his back and the other blade on his left hip, which is why he doesn't use his dragon blade for his dash. There is a Japanese novel named The Tale of Genji. The novel of Genji is kind of different, but they're both pretty much the same. They can be related because they both were banished from their families. And in Paris, there was a giant Genji for Overwatch, for the release. So yeah, pretty much that's the basics of Genji. You can find all of that information if you want to read it. It can be found at the Overwatch website. Basically, to tell you what my personal thoughts on Genji, I think Genji is a wonderful character, but he's definitely hard to get a hold of and play. But as long as you spend time and you practice, I feel like Genji can be mastered by anybody. He does have a 3-star rating for difficulty, but I believe that really anybody can play him. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys later.